Bloomberg Audio Studios.
Podcasts, radio, news.
EchoStar announced yesterday that it's selling its video distribution business to DirecTV, a merger that the satellite providers have flirted with for almost 2 decades. We caught up with EchoStar CEO Hyde Akhavan. Here's what he had to say.
The founders was that this business ends up in great hands and continue to develop according to their lifelong work and vision to make it one of the greatest companies they can make. And the combination of the two companies now will be that company, the company that is unique in its position in the marketplace. So it's bittersweet.
Yes.
In a way they see it in great hands. They're coming together and being that challenger that Charlie has created over time. But it's also letting it go. It's also very difficult. So the answer is bittersweet, not really obvious.
But satellite TV is ultimately in a state of decline. Will this be a period of managed decline for the bigger company now?
It certainly is part of the thesis that, right now this is not at the time that it used to be 10 or 15 years ago when the, position of these two companies that are coming together was unique and was very strong. The two companies have lost 60% of their subscribers over the past, since 2016, they've lost that. Everyone has access to broadband today, whether it be terrestrial or through satellite, Starlink, the direct-to-consumer digital providers, programmers going around these two companies are 10 to 20 times larger in terms of customer base. So it is time for these companies to come together to increase their sustainability and ability to negotiate better deals that they can pass on to the consumers.
That was EchoStar CEO Hyde Akhavan. Now let's continue this pay TV merger. And we're joined by, who EchoStar sold Dish to, DirecTV. The CEO now joins us, Bill Morrow. Bill, welcome to the show. And I ask you this now strategy going forward, the combined 19 million subscribers you now have, what do you offer them? Is it managed decline?
Well, thanks, Caroline. And actually, we're going to offer them something that the new kind of competition cannot. You think about the volume of direct-to-consumer subscription-type services. These are the Netflix, the Amazon Primes, the HBO Maxes that are out there. They have a very narrow scope of the content that they offer, the way in which they can only navigate through their platforms. Consumers are left with having to pick and choose multiple subscription services and manage this on their own. They're having the difficulty now to navigate across these different platforms. What the new company with DirecTV and Dish will do is, number one, it will actually bundle all of those different services together. We'll still have a form of linear or time of day type programming, but we're going to let the consumer pick and choose 2 or 3 or 4, if that's what they want, of these other direct-to-consumer programs. We'll wrap a user interface around that. We'll make navigation easy. We'll make search and recommendation easy. But equally as important, Caroline, is that the combined entity with the just under 20 million subscribers will give us the very needed influence on the industry to work with the programmers to say the days of the past of 250 channels are gone. Yeah. Consumers don't want to pay for content that they are never going to watch. And the programmers are still kind of tied to those old carriage agreements. This influence is going to change that. It is in the interest of the consumers. We think it's in the interest of the programmers in the long run, and of course to our company as well.
Bill, I can see how you offer from a price perspective, and I can also see how ultimately this is about slimming down costs. But what about growth? Do you think you will ever increase that number of subscribers, or is it about just serving the ones you have?
No, well, Caroline, we've really studied the market on what are the pain points of the current environment that consumers feel. And again, having to manage multiple subscriptions, not knowing where your content is, even the biggest search engines that can't keep up when you're looking for a particular season or episode of your favorite series or a movie that you want to watch. We know that the consumers need more than what's available today. By combining these two companies, having the influence to be able to change those carriage agreements, we're going to give them thinner linear bundles of genres that they can pick. We'll let them add in and insert in the SVOD or those direct-to-consumer Netflix or Amazon Prime type services. And again, with a very different kind of experience. That will allow us to get back into a growth situation. Now, we need the two companies to come together because we are falling fast. You've heard this from a number of different industry experts. So this buys us some time, gives us the influence to shape the industry. That's all about the consumer, and it's going to give something to them that they haven't had.
But do we need more streaming? I know that you're thinking about DirecTV Stream and Dish TV, and ultimately it sounds like we're going back to the past by rebundling the things we've already snipped in terms of the cord.
No, that bundled past is not going to serve us going into the future, and that's why we believe with the new kind of carriage agreements, it's going to allow you, the rest of the consumers, the rest of your viewers, to pick and choose the genres of their choice and not pay for all the rest of it. So it's not as big of a bundle as what we've seen in the past, and that's what we've been advocating. That was the deal that we struck with Disney. We fought so hard for to be able to get. Let the consumers pick what they want to watch and not force them to pay for stuff that they'll never tune into, and that is our future.
You have other stakeholders, largely private equity now when it comes to TPG, but also the creditors. And a lot of this is based upon whether or not the bondholders of Dish in particular sign up to this. Do you think that will go through? How painful is it to take those sorts of haircuts?
Well, we think the current bondholders of the DBS business under EchoStar with Dish are going to have a better deal by converting and exchanging into the debt that we're offering. We think it'll be better leverage ratios than what they see today. There's better confidence in terms of this business model about looking forward into the future without the risk that they might perceive today with that DBS business. We also have advocated and explained that while our initial leverage ratio will be in the 2.5 times, that still is better than any other pay TV provider that is out in the marketplace today. And within a 12 to 24 month window, we're going to be very focused on bringing that leverage ratio down to below 2. So that's the reason that we believe they're interested in making this exchange, lowering that debt, making sure that this M&A deal can happen. And then we, of course, proceed to the FCC and the DOJ for the needed regulatory approvals.
We'd like to keep in touch as you go through those approvals. DirecTV CEO Bill Morrow, we really appreciate your time.